What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Pokey Office. My name is Colin. It's time for another Pokey Office board meeting. We got lots to discuss in August 2024. I'll bring up the agenda. Here it is. So, number 1 and 2 on the agenda, clickbait and pokey hate. We won't get into it now, but we'll get into it soon enough. Like, I'm basically clickbaiting you right now by baiting you along so that you continue listening. I took a beating this week on someone's video because they were thinking that I was telling people to wait on evolving skies and all sorts of different stuff. We'll talk about it. I'm not too concerned. Then we got the Ultra Premium Collection, the Terapagos Ultra Premium Collection coming out in November, and some new news regarding the promos potentially coming in that UPC, and I'm really, really excited about it. Next up, the worst sets of Scarlet and Violet era. Lots of people saying that it's Shrouded Fable. We're also just surpassing the year anniversary of Obsidian Flames releasing. Came out early August 2023. Crazy that it's been a year already. What set do you think is the worst? Let me know down in the comments right now. And then we'll take a quick look forward into the future of Pokemon because I think it's a really exciting time to be in this hobby. So let's get to it. Number 1, clickbait. Here's where I want to set the record straight. Okay. Everyone on YouTube who's a content creator uses clickbait because that, unfortunately, if it is, that's what people click on YouTube. Like, there's this whole thing where you have to title your video correctly. You have to make a good thumbnail that's a little bit clickbaity. Otherwise, people tend not to click on it. And I'm looking at my analytics all the time. Some of my thumbnails do really good. Some of my thumbnails do really bad. Some of my titles do better than others. Like, it's always a game with the YouTube algorithm. And I would say everyone who's creating content in the YouTube space is making some form of clickbaitiness because that's what gets the clicks. And the more clicks you get and the longer watch time you get and the people who watch your stuff, YouTube likes that. And then YouTube promotes your videos more and more and more. And of course, most content creators are in it for a couple of reasons. 1, to have some fun, but number 2, to make some money as well and to continue growing the following. So that's just part of the game. So getting into the Pokemon hate thing, we'll get there in a second, but just because my thumbnail says buy now in big capital letters doesn't mean I'm telling you to buy everything I put on the screen. That's ridiculous. I trust that you have more common sense than that. And I sure hope that you have more common sense than that because that's just silly. It's one of my best performing thumbnails out there. Like, when I do my, August investing videos at the start of each month, basically, I do an investing in sealed and an investing in singles. Is it actually an investing video? Not really. We just look at a whole slew of different stuff as we see, like, how have these things performed in the last 3 months or 6 months? Sometimes I switch it up and do 1 month, or I compare 1 month to 12 month. Like, it's just a big overview. And yet my thumbnail and my title says Pokemon investing, and in big bold letters it says buy these now or sell these now. Like, seriously, I'm not telling you to go buy everything when it's really high. It's just the fact that that thumbnail does really good. Like, that is literally the best click-through rate I get on my videos, on those couple of videos. So everyone does it. And to be funny, I'm not going to say anything too much about the Pokemon hate, but the video that was hating on me also was clickbaity. The best investments in August are. Like, come on. Here's what I think about Pokemon hate. Number 1, I think if you have the guts to throw out content on YouTube, no matter what, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's some other hobby you have, whether it's something you're an expert in, if you are putting yourself out there for other people to watch, props to you. That's amazing, and I have so much time for you. Seriously. I might not agree with everything you say. I might not agree with anything you say. It doesn't matter. I love the fact that you are willing to put yourself out there and put out content. And I expect that kind of level of respect for everyone in the YouTube space, honestly, because it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of balls, or kahunas, as they say, to put content out on YouTube. Seriously. Like, if you go back and watch my early videos, I suck so bad and I still make mistakes all the time and I still slur my words and I still stutter all the time. But I get better and better and better and better as I make more and more videos. So that's just part of the growth. And I love making videos. I like making content. That doesn't mean I'm not going to make mistakes. That doesn't mean I'm going to not say anything more stupid, because I do say stupid stuff sometimes and I do make mistakes. There was this big hate thing going on, and I think they cleared it up, but between Nostalgianomics and Rob Does Pokemon. And I was like, as I was watching the two videos go back and forth, I was like, yeah, sure, some mistakes were made, but who cares? They put content out there. Props to you. And why throw hatred onto other people? I just don't understand. I mean, I guess that's clickbaity in and of itself, where you can get views for hatred. But most of these people, from my perspective, would never say some of this stuff if we were talking actually face-to-face in person. The internet is this terrible place where I can be so courageous and spew out nonsense that I would never, ever tell you to your face. So just remember that. Like, I'm here to spread the love for Pokemon, love for the community, because seriously, I have not been passionate about something like I'm passionate about Pokemon maybe ever in my life. Like 2 years ago or whatever it was when I started this YouTube channel is the moment where I finally was like, dang, this is something that I don't want to quit. I love making content. I love thinking about Pokemon all the time. I love dreaming about Pokemon. I love talking about Pokemon. So if you like what I have to say, awesome. And clearly some of you do, because my subscriber count has grown pretty substantially over the last 2 years. And if you don't, like, that's fine with me too. I just like putting out content, you know? So that's enough about that. And don't ask who put out that spewing nonsense about me, because they're entitled to their opinion. I just gave you my opinion. Okay, let's get to some good stuff here. So we got the new UPC. We already know about it. It's the Terapagos UPC. So my first instinct on this was that I absolutely hated the box. Like, check this out. It just doesn't look that good. But then if you go to the next picture, okay, without that like extra cardboard on top of it, I don't mind it. It's okay. Not too bad. Terapagos isn't anything special to me, but I don't know. I could kind of get on board with like the diamond rainbow thing happening. So it could be kind of cool. It could be a total bust. But Terapagos EX Ultra Premium Collection to feature Terra Lapras, Cinderace, and Terapagos EX. Okay, here's what I'm hoping. Please, 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 please come out with illustration rares or special illustration rares of the Cinderace and of the Lapras. Could you imagine a special illustration rare Lapras? I think would be one of the coolest cards out of the entire Scarlet and Violet era. And even if it's Terra, even if it's wearing the big helmet, doesn't matter. I think we're in desperate need of a Lapras special illustration rare. I think it would be absolutely spectacular. Okay, next up, we got the Pokemon Worlds happening in Honolulu, August 16 to 18. If you're watching this on release day of this video, it means it's starting today. So this is going to be really interesting because of the meta happening in the Pokemon TCG. Okay, so here, this line is important. The only difference between the format for Worlds and the North American something tournament or championship, of course, is Shrouded Fable. So Shrouded Fable just released since the last big tournament. So there's some different meta happening in the TCG. It's going to be really interesting to watch the Shrouded Fable market to see if some of these new decks or some of these new cards actually can make a play, because we might see some of like the $5 to $10 cards or even like the $1 cards turn into $5 cards. Like, it could happen and it could not happen. It's just an interesting time to watch. Okay. And then in other really sad news, just really quick, if you haven't heard, Rachel Lillis, the voice of Misty and Jessie in the TV show, passed away this week. So that's really sad. Definitely, I had no idea that she even voiced both Misty and Jessie. So didn't know much about that, but I mean, that's a nostalgia thing. So if you hadn't heard that, there you go. All right, moving forward, our next agenda item is the worst sets of Scarlet and Violet era. Like I said in the introduction, Obsidian Flames just passed the 1 year anniversary mark. crazy stuff. At the time, I was really excited to pull the Charizard Special Illustration Rare. I probably pulled it like within my first 50 or 60 packs is what I'm guessing, though it's a year ago already, so I've kind of lost track. And then the set just continued to decline and continued to decline. There's some great cards in Obsidian Flames. The Charizard, I think, is a total banger. And if you haven't watched my last video yet where we looked at like some of the different stats for grading with PSA, Charizard is still by far and large the king of Pokemon. Like, so many people graded the Obsidian Flames Charizard and the 151 Charizard. It is absolutely insane. So go check that out if you haven't watched that video yet. But Obsidian Flames, like, what else is there? There's the gold hyper rare Charizard, but that's not much. Then you have the Pidgeot, which is very, very playable in the TCG. So that's holding a little bit of value. Other than that, value-wise, Obsidian Flames is in the tank for sure. Yet there's some really, really great illustration rares in the set, but they're just not holding value for whatever reason. Let's take a quick look here. So for whatever reason on TCG Player, the images aren't loading, but here's the special illustration rare Charizard. I actually love that card. I like the Paldean Fates one better, but this one still is a real banger, okay? Then this is maybe one of the best illustration rares out of Scarlet and Violet era so far, artwork-wise. The Ninetales, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. $11.27 market price, so nothing too crazy there. What else? The Cleffa is a really great card. I love how clean that one is. And then the Scizor, if you say it's funny, is another great card. And then there was one more that I'm looking for, the Gloom, which I think is absolutely spectacular, but it's only $4.18, so not holding a ton of value. Switching gears, the most recent set, Shrouded Fable, is less than a month old, and some people are saying that Shrouded Fable is the worst set to come out of Scarlet and Violet era. Some people are saying that Shrouded Fable is the worst set since Pokemon Go. Oof. I mean, I have a hard time disagreeing with that. But at the same time, there's some fun cards in this set. The illustration rares are probably better than Obsidian Flames, in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take. Is Shrouded Fable better than Obsidian Flames, or is it not? You got to tell me down in the comments what you think. I'm really torn on it, mostly because of a few cards in here, okay? So the Cassiopeia, I think this card is really, really cool. Plus, you got the Sylveon in the background there. So I think that one is awesome. I also think that this Persian is absolutely spectacular to go along with the Giovanni's Riz from 151. I think that's really, really good. Here might be my actual favorite card. It kind of switches every time I look at them. But this Houndoom is the meanest Pokemon card I think I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely ridiculous. And this one actually has more than doubled in price since release day. It was a $10 to $12 card on that Friday, August 2nd when it released. So this card doing extremely well. The rest of them, as you can see here, my face is kind of in the way, but Cassiopeia down to $80, Pheasantipede down to $72. These cards were both above $100 on release day. So some big drops happening with Shrouded Fable. And now the last thing we need to do is just to look ahead. So here's what's actually happening in the Pokemon space, okay? Things are coming like wave after wave after wave. It's ridiculous. Okay, Shrouded Fable just released. We're literally a month away from Stellar Crown releasing on September 13th, which is crazy. Let's actually just take a look at that really quick. And if you don't want the spoilers, now would be a good time to turn off the video. Okay, so here I think the illustration rares are really, really awesome in this set. You got that Bulbasaur and the Squirtle, which were promo cards in Japanese. Now we're going to get them in English, which I'm really, really excited about. And I don't know, any other standout to you? Those are probably the two standouts for me. There's some other ones that I like, but I don't know if I'd say they're amazing. What's this, Archaludon? I mean, I'm still heartbroken that the one Evolving Skies booster box I opened had the Duraludon VMAX. I pulled a VMAX alt art and it was the worst one. Tragic. This card is also really cool, the Zeraora. I think it's pretty awesome as well. Full art Pokemon, nothing too crazy. And here is some actually the cool ones. The Terapagos is okay. I'm really excited to see that new rainbow pattern in person on a special illustration rare. I think it could be really cool. And then I think that this Hydrapple could be absolutely awesome. I'm going to be honest with you. I really, really like this card. I think it could look really cool in person. And then these supporters are definitely a sight to behold for sure. This one is the Briar, which looks really, really cool. And then the Lacey also looks really, really cool. I think there could be some good stuff happening here. Then we have Surging Sparks coming out in November, which feels pretty quick, along with that Ultra Premium Collection. So like the holiday season is not that far away with lots and lots of Pokemon stuff coming out. But here's what I'm really, really excited about, okay? Next, we have the rumors, and I don't know if it's 100% for sure yet, but it sure feels 100% that they're doing an Eevee set as the high-class Japanese set, meaning it's probably the 2025 January specialty set in English would be my guess. And anytime you bring up Eevee into the Pokemon TCG, I mean, collectors are just going to go crazy. Even if they're wearing the Terra hats, I think it's still going to be a totally awesome set. I can't wait to see the next generation Eevees in special illustration rares and their evolutions. I think that's going to be awesome. Last thing is that there's this Team Rocket set that's upon us, and comment after comment on the channel and other people's channels, it's like, yeah, I'm not that interested in Shroud of Fable. Yeah, I'm not that interested in Stellar Crown. I'm saving my pennies for the big stuff coming out in 2025. So I just wanted to take a quick journey into the past to look at some of the cards from the Team Rocket sets way back in the day, because I mean, it's just awesome. I am totally stoked for another Team Rocket set to come out, because I don't know if I've ever opened a Team Rocket pack, either Team Rocket Wizards of the Coast or Team Rocket Returns. I don't know if I've ever opened a pack, so it's pretty exciting. Let's take a look. Okay, again, images not loading on TCG Player, but here is the Team Rocket set. So the biggest card, that Dark Charizard. Oh, what a good card that is. Then we got Dark Blastoise, Dark Dragonite, Dark Raichu, Dark Alakazam. So many good ones. That's just the regular non-holo version of it. The Dark Gyarados is really, really good as well. Dark Machamp, like so many good cards. Imagine some of these cards in a special illustration rare. So the full card is artwork plus texture. It is going to be absolutely ridiculously cool. And then we got Team Rocket Returns. Number one card here is the Torchic Gold Star. Pretty cool. Imagine if they brought back Gold Stars somehow in a full art special illustration rare. We got the Mudkip Star, Rockets Snorlax. I love how dark, and this card just rocks. The Rockets Entei. Also really, really cool. That like black and gray looking background looks absolutely legendary. The Trico, then you got Rockets Mewtwo. What a sick card that is. My goodness. Articuno. I don't even love the artwork of this set necessarily. I don't love the artwork of this like generation of Pokemon cards, but my goodness, like Moltres. I mean, you know it probably better than I do even, but man, how exciting is that? So what a time to be alive and into the Pokemon space. I mean, it's just so good. And for all the negative talk around Shrouded Fable and Stellar Crown, they're not that bad. Seriously, there's some really fun cards in Shrouded Fable, and I had a really good time opening it. So I'm just really excited. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, that's going to conclude our PokeOffice board meeting for August 2024. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments below what you like, what you're looking forward to, and make sure to hit the subscribe button if you liked the video. And until my next one, peace.